During this video, we're gonna see all the craziest challenges that we have in YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, 2000, 2010, 2013. In any of those challenges, we have someone that is not with us right now. In other challenges, one person went to prison, but you need to stay long enough. You know the drill. In other challenges, there were firing people that were to prison, of course, and other, I have one conspiracy theory about the idea of YouTube, TikTok, and everything were pushing to make this funny challenge, to make artificial intelligence to be trained. And you know what? I'm talking about the mannequin challenge, and I'm gonna tell you why, because it has some kind of scientific research on that. As always, we're gonna start for the beginning. We're gonna start with one of the most deadliest stuff that I ever seen in YouTube or whatever. Was a challenge around 2000, around the pandemic, in the best moment of the pandemic, and when the pandemic wasn't that so cool and awesome. This is really known stuff, the blackout challenge. The blackout challenge was something like someone need to not to breathe. I'm not making this up, it works that way, not to breathe, and see how much time you can hang without breathing. Actually, the challenge finishes when you're passed out. It happened that some people, they have a few issues. Most of them, they were teenagers and they pass away. This was one of the most dangerous stuff that we have in internet or whatever. This is the first one. We started really nice, really simple, really something. I need to show you something. Check this out. Yes, I know. It's not from this channel. The Ice Bucket Challenge. Oh, yes, we're still touching stuff that I don't like. I have a really close person that passed away with it. We're talking about the amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, okay? Yes. How we are going to finish on a challenge? You need to wait a little bit. Also known as the Lou Gehrig. This was one of the most famous patients. I have a really close person that passed away with this stuff. I won't tell you because you're a little bit dirty in your mind. Appeared a few years ago the Ice Bucket Challenge, that the idea is to the conscious idea. This kind of disease that it doesn't have a really nice treatment. Actually, it's completely palliative. If you have it, you're done. The only thing that we can change is the time and the quality of your life. It's one of those diseases that nobody wants. There's any disease that somebody wants. One of the guys that was part of the Ice Bucket Challenge was Bill Gates, that he was challenged by Mark Zuckerberg. But also, the idea of the Ice Bucket Challenge is throwing yourself really cold water. In the other case scenario, you need to put money on the foundation of the disease. And you started to say, well, I think it's better to put the money instead of the ridiculous stuff of throwing yourself ice water. Bill Gates threw himself water and also donated a few bunch of money. You know, Bill Gates, you're right here in my heart. This is the clip of Bill Gates throwing himself a bunch of water. But before, there is something that I need to tell you. There was a bunch of accidents. People throwing himself really stuff from another floor and they have accidents. Everything that we need to see in this beautiful place known as internet. Let's go to Bill Gates a little bit. The Cinnamon Challenge. OMG. We're talking about 2012-13. Actually, it started with a few videos, but this video was completely viral. It's about the idea of having a really bunch of stuff of cinnamon, and in the middle, the people say, oh, the cinnamon, it has some kind of vitamin D. What could happen? It's a bunch of cinnamon in your mouth, and you're going to have issues. And some people, they aspirated the cinnamon, and they needed to go to the doctor. The legends say that some people, they were passed away. I guess it's a little bit exaggerated. A little bit, I don't know. I can understand why everybody's doing it. It's a little bit funny. Let's go for it.
150 billion people have been asking me, I did a cinnamon challenge. What's so challenging about cinnamon? Really? So everybody's been getting on my nerves. I got some cinnamon. I don't even know what kind you're supposed to get, because cinnamon is good for you. All right, here we go.
car surfing. OMG. The idea of the car surfing is that you're driving super chill, nobody's in the street. That's really important. That's really important for this challenge. And you decided, I don't know why, that it will be a really nice idea to go on the floor of your car and try to surf your own car. I think it has a really big problem. You should be driving that car. And also, some of the challenges, they were made with someone in the passenger seat. Most of them, they're not. There is a problem with cars. When they don't have any drivers, sometimes cars, they like to do stuff, I don't know, random. We gonna see a few videos of this one. Obviously, some people were unalived with this kind of stuff because it's something that you can expect. They have crashes, they have wounded people, you have all kind of stuff that you can expect for someone that is making something so stupid. Oh my man, chill out. Around 2007, 2010, planking. It started really nice. I remember that a few of my friends, they were planking 2010, 2011. It seems harmless. It seems that it's impossible to be harmed if you plank in the floor, if you plank in front of your grandmother, if you plank on a date, in your wedding day. I don't know if someone planked in that day, but it's funny. But some of the people, they started to make planks in places that they shouldn't be, like really high places, rooftops really high, places that they shouldn't be planking. For example, in the railroad. What could happen if you wait long enough in a railroad when you're doing planking? Give me an idea. What could pass through on that lane? The train. Other people, they were planking in places that were really dangerous, like stairs or whatever, and they fall and they have small injuries. They were fine, but the video was published, of course. If you're in a viral trend and everybody's doing the same, you're gonna publish that video. That's how the viral stuff works. And of course, most of these videos, they were banned after that. YouTube was completely open. There were nothing to stop. And if you make something extreme yourself, it's going to be viral. The fire challenge. It's impossible to believe how people could be so incredibly stupid. I guess that if you put a camera, people started to be stupid. The idea is throw yourself some ignition, for example, could be alcohol. Turn yourself on fire. Most of these challenges, they were made in front of a big pool or something, or in the shower, but some of them, they're not. I don't know what are you thinking. Oh my god. They have third-degree injuries by fire, blisters, operations, scars that they're not going to change like one complete life. The mannequin challenge. Yes. I wasn't part of the mannequin challenge 2016. I remember there in a few places that I was working, they were making mannequin challenge, and this is the conspiracy idea that I have. You need to train AIs. For example, if you're watching this image, you can understand that some stuff they're much more deep than others. For example, something that is really far. We can understand that. We understand because we have experience. Why we have experience? Because we walk through in the real life, so we understand perspective, color, shades, and all the stuff. But the artificial intelligence, they have a really hard work to understand all the images. They don't know how deep, how close, or whatever, because they are not human. This is my funny and conspiracy idea. YouTube push it on purpose. He made it on purpose to push this kind of videos to train his own AIs. You didn't expect that, huh? And you're still thinking that the earth is round, isn't it? We have a video. There is no really big evidence of this conspiracy idea of YouTube making this kind of stuff, of pushing videos on purpose because they want to train their own AIs. But in some places, they use those kind of videos to train the AIs. And there were something like scientific research and papers and all the stuff. And it was fine. I think it was something like a challenge that was useful for something, at least. The blue whale challenge. This blue whale challenge, I think is a myth. I tried to research a bunch of stuff about the blue whale. The idea of the blue whale, because I remember, is that a shady guy could ask to minor people, teenagers, to small humans, to make some challenges. And the big drawing is the blue whale. Can you do this? Can you do this? Until going further and further into, I don't know, something really dangerous like planking or the fire challenge. And then something happened. Something that I cannot tell you because YouTube is going to be crazy if I tell you. There were some kind of stuff on viral or whatever television programs talking about the blue whale challenge, but I didn't see any real victim around it, so I think it was a myth. And I have the small suspicion that it was created by television, something that they made up. Oh, be careful with this kind of challenge. You know what is really dangerous? The fire challenge, the car surfing, that's dangerous. The Harlem Shake. We were this close in my work to make this kind of stuff, the Harlem Shake. Do you remember? Con los terror. The Harlem Shake idea was in the 2013 was to make something like people all serious. In most of the cases they started all serious, except one guy, they started to this is dancing, okay? I'm dancing. And suddenly, when the music changed, everybody was dancing. Well, what could happen? They made Harlem Shakes in every places, even in dangerous places. For example, in a mine, mines are places, they are not so cozy and warm. They're a little bit dangerous. When they saw the bosses, they saw the Harlem Shake that they made, there were sanctions, 15 of the people that were dancing over there, they were fired from the minery place. Well, they didn't like it. In other places like universities, they did the same stuff, also sanctions, firing. Also, military people, that the video that you already saw, they were making the same stuff. Mona Lisa Perez and Pedro Ruiz. We were talking about stupid stuff. One of the most stupidest stuff that I ever hear in my life. It wasn't a challenge, it was a challenge channel. I remember around 2010 that there were challenge channels, something like a Mr. Beast, but dangerous, really dangerous. Mona Lisa Perez is going to shoot with a desert eagle to his boyfriend that was the father of her son or daughter, I don't know, I didn't research on that, with the desert eagle. If she's going to shoot, he's going to receive the shooting with a book. I needed to show the plate again. The book was a leather cover or something like that. The desert eagle, it's a weapon of mass destruction. It's one of the most dangerous weapons that exist, I don't know, on the streets. It's a 50 caliber weapon that can walk through a bunch of stuff. It's a machine of making holes. Actually, this channel, Gigi, he liked to test shooting stuff. And this guy was shooting a desert eagle to a bunch of books. He walked through the first one and the second one was damaged. You can imagine what was the result with this beautiful couple. Pedro Ruiz passed away. And Mona Lisa Perez, she went to prison around 90 days, but she's not allowed to use any firearm again. Justice. There is a little bit about scientific research about this one. For example, the camera allows you to do it, and if you see videos of people doing something completely dangerous, you're going to be doing it again because you're watching the stuff. Even the Jackass element. The Jackass was a TV show from there was a bunch of people making different challenges. Some of them, they were really dangerous. They put a disclaimer on the beginning of the show, but nobody listened to it, and they did the same stuff. That same disaster, knowing that most of the crew of Jackass, they were injured, they suffered fractures, they were hospitalized. Johnny Knoxville in the second or third season of the show wasn't able to be part of the challenges because he was so injured that he wasn't able to receive any more punch. Really hard problem with his life. Ryan Dunn, one of the people, I don't know why I'm talking about Jackass today. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like the video. Please like, subscribe, comment. Did you make some of these funny and crazy and dangerous challenges? Do all the things that YouTubers like to do and fijne dag.